Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Hussain Bashkolachi YouTube channel is with you, and we are just discussing the West Asia conflict, and we are just looking what are the consequences of the war in Iran as well as in other countries. So I should show you the first slide, what it says. Let us start. So this is first slide, West Asia War Consequences and Response. And let us move further. These are the contents and uncertain future as well as crisis, unfold and infrastructure damage, residential and civilian sites, environmental hazards, lives lost and injuries, health facilities under attack, displacement crisis. So these are the area we will touch. In introduction part, you can see that how high-rise buildings, villages, small cities, the 12-day aerial campaign briefly describes the US-Israel strikes on Iran. And with this, I think the Gulf nations that initiated the crisis in March 2026 and details the aerial nature of the conflict, and it is a rapid escalation. So rapid escalation is the important word which we want to use here. Then humanitarian and infrastructure problem. Let us see what are the severe humanitarian and infrastructure crisis resulting from the conflict, emphasizes the high civilian casualties and damage to critical infrastructure, including the health facilities. The forced by international organization in providing aids. So let us move further. Briefly describes US-Israel strike on Iran and Iranian territory and sites, Gulf nation that includes the crisis we have already covered, and we are going further. Let us see what is next. So in part 2, lives lost. Let us see what has happened. I have already described most of the things in my earlier presentations. So part 2, civilian casualties. Report over 1,300 civilian deaths in Iran, according to Iranian officials. Highest impact on the highlights the impact on the population. Then casualties in other countries are also there. And even deaths from Israel is described over 570 deaths in Lebanon. Part 3, infrastructure damage and energy and utilities. Energy supply disruption. The attack have crippled energy production and disrupted the widespread effects on daily life and industry. Health facilities under attack. WHO verified that 13 attacks on health facilities in Iran underscores the breaches of international law and impacts on healthcare accessibility. Impact on healthcare workers. This is important aspect. We can think about that uh, to some extent. Let I should readjust myself because yes, I think it is better. So residential and civilian sites. Regional impact, Bahrain and Dubai, they were also affected. And displacement crisis. Initially, more than 60,000 people were displaced in Lebanon. Uh, Immediate impact and urgent need for shelter. Evacuation in Iran, over 1 lakh people left areas in Iran, up to 1 million estimated on the move, highlights the scale of internal displacement within the country. Environmental damage, strikes on lifelines caused missile fires, creating toxic smoke, plumes, and environmental consequences. Drinking water contamination reflects and poses a threat to drinking water supplies, and details of other things are also available. Uncertain future. This is important. Iran position. Iran parliament speaker stated they were definitely not to not for ceasefire. We are not looking for ceasefire. Definitely not looking for ceasefire. US and Israel and the US and Israel regime infrastructure degradation. So that is the aim of the regime. Degradation means disintegration of the governance as well as infrastructure and geographical territories, but not looking for ceasefire is the Iranian stand. So this shows that the conflict will continue, but as the um, two powers, one is a superpower and other is a mini superpower, along with the neighboring countries. One country, Iran, is being attacked, and this is a 12th day of the attack. I think the people from Iran and the losses as well as the energy and the confidence. I was listening one of the Chinese professor Jiang. He said that the pressure observation has restraint and induration of the Iranian nation has written a new chapter in the war history, and this shows that the US will not win the war, but the Iran will also not lose the war. So this is the stated position of the international thinkers, and even in the United Nations, the population, the the Congress as well as other elected bodies, they are now also in favor of this war. And even the Muslim countries, they are worried because the Strait of Hormuz, which is the lifeline for the oil supply as well as other supplies, including medicine, because the Indian Ocean is the fastest trade route of the world. So this situation is creating tension in at least 40 Muslim countries, including Pakistan and Asian countries, where I think the humanity is residing. And this crisis is also in Asia, so its repercussions are in Australia, in European countries, in USA, as well as in the other distant countries. So, public health respect and dignity is the main cause of the doctors, and we are supporting the doctors who are working selflessly, sacrificing their lives to save the others' lives in Iran as well as in all the countries. We are not part of the problem. We are the victims of the problem, and we are serving our profession and people and the mankind. So doctors from Pakistan, they are believing that the attack on Iran is unjustified and uncalled for. It should be stopped immediately, and ceasefire should be declared by the Trump and the Netanyahu administration so that the peace is prevailed in the world, and the sigh of relief is given to the mankind also. The environmental degradation and the smokes, as well as the danger of the acid rain, is very much in the environment that will not leave the human beings but even plants, and we can have no crops on the land, and even drinking water cannot be available. So if the life in the Iran is less or cheap, then the life on the earth will also not be uh, continuing if such kinds of conflicts and wars are taking. Dr. Hussein Bush Polachi YouTube channel is with you, and I am just once again taking back you to the slides so that you can have a brief kind of West Asia. This was the first slide, and this shows that how attacks are verified on the hospitals, then the casualties, 25 doctors and 4 health workers, uh, in which 4 health workers and 25 others were injured. Residential area, civilian sites, 10,000 civilian sites in Iran were hit. You can imagine and even Bahrain and Dubai. Displacement is a huge number, 60,000 people from Lebanon and 100,000 people in Iran, and 1 million are displaced and on the move. Environmental degradation, I have already mentioned the acid rain consequences as well as injuries and supply of the medicines and others. Diplomatic efforts are not there. Russian intervention can have. So UNICEF assessment is that 200 to 300% prices rise. WHO response. WHO coordinating health response. Strengthening preparedness. Protection of persons. The International Committee of Red Cross is using all parties to abide by the international humanitarian laws. Restoring service is another area. MSF Medicine Sans has raised alarm about the record level of attacks on medical care, underscore the severity of the impediments to the health services. Closure and withdrawal force closure essential services impacts the accessibility of the health care. Local aid workers, local Red Cross team works to rescue civilians from the damaged buildings. Summary, urgent response. Thank you very much. So with this, we are concluding. I think this will give you some flavor and the latest situation of the health as well as other environmental issues, because mostly economic, political, and other international issues are discussed, and public health and the health of the people is not discussed in detail in most of the YouTube. So Dr. Hussain Bashkolachi is giving these information on the authenticated sources, and for the public and record purpose, please write your comments and write where from and which country you are listening. And if I am adding some content of your interest and highlighting the health and public health problem in Pakistan as a senior doctor and citizen of Pakistan, I think I am doing my job, and that is the call of my profession. I am college. My name is Professor Hussain Bashkolachi. I am fellow of College of Physician Surgeon and working as a senior professor in one private university. Thank you very much, and please press the icon button, subscribe it, like it, and forward it to the other. Thank you very much. We are ending our